Lance Forman is a former MEP and businessman and joins me now. Lance, good evening to you. Thank you for joining me today. What do you think of this deal?
No one was calling for this deal, Peter. I can't see the point of it. I can't see any benefits whatsoever, apart from perhaps the one that you referred to earlier, that we'll be able to get through queues at airports a little bit faster. But the one thing the Brits are very good at is queuing, so he's even undermined that.
It's a very fair point, and I actually came through the system, went to France and came back about a month ago, and the French border security guard had to say, "Oh no, you go in this queue. Remember Brexit," and it was literally about 30 seconds more than the other one. And
yeah, look, this is a joke, Peter. Well, our country has some serious problems, and I think the public made it pretty clear what concerns them at the time of the local elections. The big issues in our country are obviously immigration, net zero, taxes, red tape as well, deregulation. None of these will be enhanced by this so-called reset that Keir Starmer has done. In fact, in every single one of those situations, we'll be in a worse position.
How will we be in a worse position? How will we be in a worse position in regard to immigration? I mean, we know this youth mobility scheme is perhaps coming. We don't know who it actually applies to. We don't know how many people there are going to be. We don't know what the limits are. We don't know what sectors there are. There's a load of questions still, aren't there? But what Keir Starmer is saying, well, after 2 or 3 years, they'll all go back.
Well, look, the fact of the matter is, we're unable to control our immigration at the moment. And if we're opening the doors to more immigration, it's simply going to make it harder to control. Youth unemployment in Europe is very high. It's actually been growing here almost to the same levels. So we might have a lot more young people. And as I understand it, when they talk about youth unemployment, they're talking about up to the age of 35. Not real sort of, students that are just school leavers.
Yeah, 35-year-old people aren't really young, are they?
No, well, we like to think we, but no, they're not. They're not sort of people between school and college or straight after university. And if the door is open to all those people, it's going to be even harder. We can't control it at the moment. It's not going to be easier to control our borders. It's going to be harder. So there's certainly no help on that front. On net zero, if we do, so I certainly feel a sense that people feel enough is enough with net zero, and actually we need not only cheaper energy, but we need to be energy independent. Now, with this deal, we're going to have to get the EU's approval to do anything we want to do to water down net zero. Why? Who is asking for this? It's absolutely suicidal for Britain. Keir Starmer, he's just destroying everything we've got.
I mean, Lance, if there's one thing you know about, it's fish, and feel free to send me some free salmon if you want to. But on a more serious note, Lance, I am being serious, but on an even more serious note, tell me about the fishing rights aspect of this, because no part of the fishing rights aspect seems to be a good deal. I mean, there's no sense that our fishermen haven't been absolutely screwed here.
Well, that's right. I mean, the fishing deal that we had initially, which wasn't a great deal, was supposed to come to an end next year, which was, a great opportunity for our coastal communities to start reinvesting. And now Keir Starmer has gone even beyond what the EU were asking for and tied us down for another 12 years. This is, again, it's absolutely disastrous for our coastal communities. No one was asking for this. What is he doing? He's just selling our country down the river. Nobody is asking for this, and I can't see who benefits. It's an awful negotiation. Absolutely awful.
We're hearing as well from Rachel Reeves that a Gulf Pact may be next with Saudi Arabia, with Qatar, with other countries. Clearly, Keir Starmer thinks he's on a bit of a roll here in regard to the fact that we've had a deal with India, we've now had a deal with the EU, we've had this American sort of deal, and the Middle East, or at least the Gulf states, may be next in that regard. Is that something that you as a businessman see as hopeful?
Well, potentially, although, now that we have this This deal with the EU, which has dynamic alignment of rules rather than mutual recognition, it might be harder for us to do trade deals elsewhere. But in fact, this afternoon, Keir Starmer has just cut off a trade deal that we were pursuing with Israel and pretty close to securing. He's actually stopped that. One of our closest allies. I know we're changing the subject slightly, but Hamas put out a statement welcoming Keir Starmer. I mean, he must be really proud to have a brutal jihadi regime praising the British government. This is just shocking.
They've
It's
taken a very, very
absolutely
firm
appalling.
stance on this, a lot firmer than I think we have at any point previously. And as you correctly say, the Israeli ambassador there being summoned to the Foreign Office. Clearly, you don't think this is. Yeah, okay. Lance, thank you for that. That's Lance Forman there. He's a former MEP. He's a businessman.